In the statement, you said, which is not dependent on knowledge or time.
Yes.
Because when this person changes, this each human being changes, the change that begins in society is a change that is in a non-temporal relationship with the change in the each human being. Yes.
So, after all, human beings have created this society. By their greed, by their anger, by their violence, by their brutality, by their pettiness, they have created this society.
Precisely.
And they think by changing the structure, you're going to change the human being. This has been the communist problem, this has been the eternal problem. That is, change the environment, then you change man. They have tried that in 10 different ways, and they haven't done it, succeeded in changing man. On the contrary, man conquers the environment, the structure. So, if we are clear that the outer is the inner is the outer, that there is not the division, the society and the individual, the collective and the separate human being, but human being is the whole. He is the society, he is the separate human individual, he is the factor which brings about this chaos.
Yes, I'm following that very closely.
He is the world and the world is him.
Yes. Therefore, if he changes,
the whole thing
everything changes. If he doesn't change, nothing changes.
That's right. I think this is very important because we don't realize, I think, this basic factor that we are the world and the world is us. That the world isn't something separate from me and me separate from the world. You're born in a culture, Christian or Hindu or whatever culture you're born in, you are the result of that culture. And that culture has produced this world. The materialistic world of the West, if one can call it, which is spreading all over the world, destroying their own culture, their own traditions. Everything is being swept aside in the wake of the Western culture. And this culture has produced this human being. And the human being has created this culture.
Exactly.
I mean, he has created the painting, the marvelous cathedrals, the marvelous technological things going to the moon and so on, so on. So human beings have produced it. It's the human beings that have created the Russian society in which we live. It's the immoral society in which we live, which human beings have created it.
Oh yes, there's no way to doubt that.
And therefore, the world is you, you are the world. There is no other thing. If we accept that, if we see that, not intellectually, but feel it in your heart, in your mind, in your blood that you are that, then the question, is it possible for a human being to transform himself inwardly and therefore outwardly?
I'm very concerned to see this as clearly as I can in terms of two texts that come to my mind, which we could say possess an inner meaning. And because of this inner-outer thing that we've spoken about in the divided approach that is made to Scripture, there's a tremendous irony here.
Yes.
I'm thinking of that, to me, wonderful text in St. John's Gospel, in 3rd chapter, which says, and I'll try to translate this as the Greek has it, the one who is doing the truth is coming to the light. It isn't that he does the truth
And then
later he comes to the light. And it isn't that we could say from the pulpit, I will tell you what the truth is. If you do it, then you'll see the light. Because we're back again to what you mentioned earlier, the non-temporal relationship between the action, which itself is the transformation,
yes, correct,
and the marvelous vista of understanding, which is not an if-then thing, but is truly concurrent. And the other one that I thought of that I was hoping you might agree in is saying the same thing, so that I understand it well in terms of what you've said, is, and again I'll try to translate it as literally as I can. God is love, and the one abiding in love is abiding in God, and God is abiding in him.
correct, correct.
I put the ing on all those words because of the character of the language itself. It doesn't read too. One wouldn't want to translate that for pulpit reading, perhaps. But that's the real sense of it. And this inging along gives the feeling that there's an activity here.
Oh.
That is not bound by
it
temporal
isn't a static state. It isn't something you intellectually accept it and leave it like that. Then it's death. There is nothing in it.
Yes.
That's why, you see, sir, we have divided the physical world as the East and the West. We have divided religions, Christian religion and Hindu